This Summer by Squeeze. 2008, it's August 2026 now. But it was summer. Was it late summer? 2008. I was playing that to my girlfriend at the time, who I was deeply in love with. And she was deeply indifferent to me. And yeah, it takes you back. And I've noticed that the more, this time last year, August 2025, I was batshit crazy. I was knocking out videos, I think, almost on a daily basis. But to be fair, they are amusing. And they are interesting, at the very least, to me, to see how crazy I was, off the back of withdrawal symptoms from psychiatric drugs. And fast forward to now, August 2026. I've finally, after 26 years, broken free of psychiatry. For my money, the most damaging institution in society, I think, or at least one of them. But psychiatry, psychiatrists, psychiatric workers, if they're good at anything, they're good at making themselves look good. But anyway, emerging from that, gradually picking it apart to emerge from that properly. It took time. And it took time to get to the stage where, in the last video I did quite a while ago now, I hit upon the notion, in a really convoluted way, of the importance of politics and creativity, politics and art, and engagement with both. But it's taken this summer to start to get back, to put away all the microphones that I've got and the fancy cameras that take forever to set up, so that by the time you start recording, the vibe you had is gone, is dead. The microphones take away, as uncommon as it seems to be these days, to hear all this that you can hear. I want, like I've got from past videos, I want to know where I was in August 2026. I want to know what it felt like, what it sounded like, what I was like, what state I was in. I want a sense of time and place. And, I want to know that in this hot summer, that I needed to have the windows wide open, that there was the buzz of traffic all the time. There is a sense of context. And that's been lacking from what I've been doing. I mean, I've got a terrible website. Looks corporate. It's a mess. It's going to take me months to do something that at least I'm going to try to make something a bit better. The videos that I've been making for quite a while, all of them on TikTok, are a disaster. The influence of a number of things. And it's like, what's happened this summer though, is all the stuff that I did to get to the point of realising, yes, politics and art, politics and creativity, are so important, I think, at least for me. You know, I may not say interesting things, but the intention is to at least try to say interesting things, at least try to present it in a way that's interesting, that isn't two-dimensional, that isn't like a cardboard cutout, like so much of what I've been doing. Look over the videos if you want, if you dare, if you want to get bored to death. You know, and to open things up, to be more flexible, to, you know, to have these sounds. It may not sound as good on, you know, on YouTube or TikTok or wherever, as a microphone to most ears, I'd have thought. But I want to hear this stuff. You know, I want to hear what was going on. You know, if a motorbike or a loud car or an ambulance goes past, you know, I don't want to bluff it with a microphone and pretend that wasn't going on. I want to sense all that. And like I said about this video that I did, the last video that I did, moving towards, after trying to figure out a load of stuff, moving towards, yes, I do need art, I do need creativity, and that sort of opened me up early this summer, that trend, to getting back into film. And eventually I got round to a film that I'd intended to watch before. I had preconceived notions about it, and I thought, well, this isn't going to be all that. Mulholland Drive. And because I hadn't really experienced anything like that before, like the experience of watching that film, I wasn't really ready to appreciate it as much. Maybe that was a good thing that I just went with it. But I couldn't really appreciate it as much in the moment. But at the age of 56, where in an environment like I'm in, the town that I'm in, the county that I'm in, the country that I'm in, you know, so much is predictable. So much, if you're not careful, so much is hackneyed routine. You know, and if you go on most social media these days, it's a limited set of possibilities. And then Mulholland Drive comes along, and all of a sudden I'm surprised, I'm taken aback in a way that I didn't even realise that was possible. It didn't even enter my head. You know, to have something that takes you by surprise, the something that's got infinite possibilities to it, that you just, you know, it's the sense I got was not so much, because like when I was young, I read Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, and it's, you know, you think afterwards, he was brilliant at figuring out what he needed to do with the reader. He needed to think. But with Mulholland Drive, and this may be stretching a bit, but that takes it to a different level. The possibilities, the infinite possibility, anything is possible. With Crime and Punishment, it's more limited. But with this, the you know, in that sense, what that gives you, for about 2.5-3 weeks, couldn't watch anything else. It took me aback so much, and apparently that can be quite common, an experience of watching that film. You know, and luckily I built up to being open to something like that. And so I thought, well, you know, something I watched years ago that I abandoned after a bit. Maybe I was too young. maybe I wasn't receptive to stuff like that at that time, was Twin Peaks by David Lynch. Now, the first series is really good. The second series sort of falls off. It gets really shit. But Lynch wasn't involved in it for a lot of that series, apparently, and apparently he regretted that later on. But then the final episode of that second series, his involvement takes it to another level, and then came series 3. And I didn't think I'd experienced what I got from Mulholland Drive again. But series 3 of Twin Peaks took that and, escalated it. It's like Mulholland Drive, the depth of heart and soul and substance is breathtaking. That sense of infinite possibility, anything is possible. Now I'm saying this on the day that I finished watching it. I watched about 4 episodes in one go, and in the penultimate episode, I was a mess. All the laughter, all the tears, all the confusion, all the suspense, all this, sense of possibility. And it's like, and it teaches you things, and you think, it makes you want to be a certain way. It makes you aspire to be a certain way, aspire to certain things, good things. That is what you get from that depth of heart and soul and substance. Now, this has been the summer for many people of the Odyssey. And maybe I shouldn't say this, but someone like Christopher Nolan, it's like getting stuck in a lift or an elevator with a mathematician who's got too carried away with his mathematics. There's not really much heart, there's not really much soul, there's not really much substance beyond clever little tinkering, like a mathematician in a lift. But that's what marks, for me, David Lynch out as just a cut above. I've watched many films, I've read many books, I've listened to quite a lot of music, and I've not had that experience before. It's sort of, like I said, this summer with my ex in 2008, that sort of level of feeling, and wonder and awe, almost like indigenous people of old, the type of things they'd experienced looking up at the night sky, the wonder, the awe, this is something very, very special that I'm part of here, in the very act of watching it, of experiencing it. But now it's over. My David Lynch summer is over, and I've got now from tomorrow, the temperatures go down again for the first time for a long time, and it's coincided. And now I've got to get back with the big wide world, conventional living. It already feels embarrassing. I may not leave this video up for long to be saying these things about what I've said, but I wanted some record for myself at the very least to capture. This is what I experienced in the summer of August 2026, and it looks like I'm not alone in being exposed to this stuff, where I got the sense that even though on the screen it's a puzzle, I got the sense that I was the puzzle, and I had to experience that and figure it out, and work off the back of that. Might not make any sense, but it makes sense to me. And it's quite sad because I've had two experiences of that this summer. First with Mulholland Drive, then with the third episode of Twin Peaks. That depth of experience that I've not come across before. And I have got experience of watching many films, reading many books, listening to a lot of music. This may just be the first flush of the aftermath of an extraordinary experience. But I don't think I'm ever going to go through it again. But at least I've been through it. Something, and it is embarrassing to say this. It's only been hours since I finished watching it, since I had that experience. Like I say, I want to capture this because that experience is something very, very special. To be exposed to someone who's capable of that you just think, how the fuck does someone reach that level, that peak? And yeah, so now normal life resumes. Temperatures go down, or re-engage with conventional living, and pretty much, in comparison, conventional media. The experience won't be so involving, so rich. And I suppose that's what makes this summer special, and it's one I won't forget. So yeah, yeah, good summer.